Hello and welcome to 24 Hours a Day, sitting in a tree edition. Let's see if I can get you a little view here. You are propped up. You are propped up on a tripod that is twirled around a branch. See, that's kind of where we're at. I don't know if that's at all a good view, but 24 hours a day, tree edition. All right. So, um, what can I tell you while I'm sorting out the camera? Oh, so welcome. I'm calling it something along the lines of a daily reading into overcoming, a daily reading into all sorts of sobriety for overcoming all sorts of addiction, poor habits, codependencies, things like that. The book we're reading, 24 Hours a Day, it says in the foreword that it was written intended to help members of Alcoholics Anonymous get through each day sober. But I discovered this book and I found seemed like a pretty good resource, a pretty good tool for anyone trying to overcome any sort of addiction or bad habit and implement a new lifestyle. So there's something else I wanted to say, maybe. So Alcoholics Anonymous is known for being pretty effective in helping people get sober. So all I have to say is um, if alcohol is a challenge for you, then the wording should be fine. If not, you can just replace the wording where applicable to whatever fits for you. They'll use words like alcohol and Alcoholics Anonymous and AA and drunk and drinking. Just replace those words where it's necessary for you. Okay, April 26th. Doesn't matter what day it is for you, but I'm reading the page marked April 26th. April 26th. Thought for the day. The AA program is one of submission, release, action. The AA program is one of submission, release, and action. When we're drinking, we're submitting to a power greater than ourselves, liquor. Our own wills are no use against the power of liquor. One drink and we're sunk. In AA, we stop submitting to the power of liquor. Instead, we submit to a power also greater than ourselves, which we call God. Have I submitted myself to that higher power? Have I submitted myself to that higher power? That might be an ongoing thing too. I find it's an ongoing thing. It's not a one-time type of deal. Meditation for the day. Ceaseless activity is not God's plan for your life. Times of withdrawal for renewed strength are always necessary. Wait for the faintest tremor of fear and stop all work, everything, and rest before God until you are strong again. I like this one. I struggle with this at times. I've been very forceful in my life at times and come to a point where it doesn't bring the results that I'm looking for. So deal in the same way with all tired feelings. I'll read it one more time. Wait for the faintest tremor of fear and stop all work, everything, and rest before God until you are strong again. Deal in the same way with all tired feelings. Then you need rest of body and renewal of spirit force. St. Paul said, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. This does not mean that you are to do all things and then rely on God to find strength. It means that you are to do the things you believe God wants you to do, and only then can you rely on his supply of power. Prayer for the day. I pray that God's Spirit may be my master always. I pray that I may learn how to rest and listen as well as how to work. One more time. I pray that God's Spirit may be my master always. I pray that I may learn how to rest and listen as well as how to work. I pray that I may learn how to rest and listen as well as how to work. I don't know how that hits for you. I don't know how that resonates for you, but learning how to properly rest has been a big one for me, and learning how to listen. I'm always open to learning more about how to listen properly. So many people, I just find, so often we're not listening. We're not really listening. We're listening so that we can respond and get our own say in. Very seldomly in this world do we listen, just truly just listen, devoid of ego. So that's a good one. That's a big one. That's all I got. Want a quick, cool little story? On my way over here, I was walking this trail, and two groundhogs. I spotted a groundhog running towards me off in the distance, maybe like 40 feet away, 50 feet away. Disappeared. Just saw it for a couple seconds. Disappeared behind some bushes. Came back a minute later with another groundhog, maybe 10 feet behind it, running towards me. And it was pretty cool. So I just stopped and watched it. I figured they would both dash off to my right, to their left. They were coming towards me into the vegetation and then towards the river. They didn't. I don't know why. I don't know if the groundhog in front was trying to run away from the one behind it or what. But they just bolted at me. And like ever so slightly were slanting off away from me. But they didn't make any sudden movements or anything. And so it got to the point where I was so close to the first groundhog that the thought that, these two animals might attack me. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if they, possibility of rabies came to mind or whatever. And I just was like, I'm going to take a step. I'm going to give them some room, whether they're just freaked out or they're aggressive. So I just took a step back, but it was cool. They ran right past me, and eventually on that slant that they were running, they got into the woods. But it was pretty cool. It was the closest I've ever been to two groundhogs at once, for sure. I'd say they came within 6 feet of me. Yeah, maybe less. Anyway, that's my little groundhog story. I don't know how much it has to do with 24 hours a day, but thank you for joining me anyways. There was a bit further back in here that said something along the lines of, just stay sober, keep it up, and good things will happen to you in life. Good things will come to you. And that's kind of what the whole experience reminded me of with the groundhogs. So this is a cool spot. I feel the kind of rush of like stopping the video, and at the same time I'm like, why? Why not just hang out? It's a cool spot. It's a cool spot. And I'm doing these videos as much as whoever comes across them, as much as I imagine other people could come across this and find value and use from it, I'm doing this despite that. I'm doing this, for myself as well. And that's something that's new to me in a way. For a long time I've been doing things specifically trying to bring value to other people, to try and get people to see value, and then for me to maybe get something in reward. And I was realizing it's been a while since I've really done something that in the act of it is good for me and livens my spirit. So I've really enjoyed doing these videos, and I'm going to continue to do them. And yeah, it's fun stuff. I'm going to twirl you around in a moment and let you look at let you look at the, I don't know what to call it. It's an inlet from a river. It's like a little marsh area that's connected to the river. You might be able to hear the family in the background with the kids off across from this marsh. I don't know how well you can see this, but hopefully you can. Panorama view. That's the river over there. It's an overcast day, but I'm not complaining. Yep, branch in front of you is a little unfocused. It looks so much bigger on the camera than it is. It's like a tiny, tiny little thing, like this big. All right. See if I can catch these birds that just flown into the street. Probably not, but you can hear them. All right, thanks for joining me. 24 hours a day. I guess I'll end this, and if I want to do a video in the tree, I'll do that separately. Stay sober. Peace and power to you.